Hello guys and welcome to our Legends Reborn July playtest feedback slash general status update video. I'm Junwei and I'm Cryus on Discord, and today we have Rob, Kimo, and Govind joining us in the whole design team.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
Hey guys, yeah, this is the first time I think all four of us are here together, so it's kind of fun.
It's cool, yeah, for sure. All right, so did we have any feedback specifically from the July playtest?
So I guess something that came up in Discord that I can address right away is came from this story, the firefighter. I hope I'm saying that right. Uh, there's a suggestion talking about in battle leveling for the creatures, where they would have some kind of like effect that changed as you continue to use them in a match. Uh, there were definitely some cool ideas uh, thrown around in the Discord chat. Uh, my comment on this is that it is kind of a large feature. You know, I do like the idea. Uh, it may be something that we visit like much later in the project. Uh, However, currently I think we're getting a lot of other feedback that people want the games to be shorter and faster, and we've been trying to make changes to speed up the gameplay uh, or the duration of a match. And I feel like this in battle leveling kind of idea would really shine in a longer match, like when stuff is happening really fast and the creatures are dying rapidly, and you're just kind of reacting to those types of changes in a game. Uh, I think that working leveling in will be difficult with the current thing. So I do like the idea. I would probably back burner it though, and see in the very long term, maybe there's something we can do like that as like a expansion down the road.
Cool, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely looking
yeah.
forward to that. Uh, is there anything else?
Yeah, I got a lot of feedback about magic attack stuff. It's a little good to be able to do a bunch of damage. I mean, realistically, there's one of the new cards being added is deliberately intended for countering magic. It's by itself, a drop in the bucket, but I definitely don't want to overcorrect. Most importantly, though, there's a lot of changes coming in somewhat soon concerning status effects, buffs, debuffs, that kind of stuff, their durations and stuff like that. I don't want to go off half cocked before all that stuff settles. Uh, but just for anyone super concerned that magic attack is always going to be just crushing and punishing, it's not totally aware of it. I'm just waiting for a couple of other things to settle before I commit and make all these anti magic attacks and cards and changes. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. Chemo, like,
I mean, just to be clear, you're talking about like the secret chemo build, right? Where he's making all
Yeah.
these mechanics changes nobody knows
yeah, the
about. That's
mechanics
that's what you're
changes.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay, I see. Yeah,
I'll riff off that and say like we want to keep the game playable for you guys, but we're having play tests maybe a little bit faster than we're working on. Like big changes take time, so while we absorb this feedback, it'll be a few play tests that where we're working on it. But you're not always playing the absolute latest and greatest, because a lot of what we're still working on is very broken. So we separate the releases in a way that where you're a little bit behind us, but it still helps us to get the feedback. It's just a small offset. So
yeah. I get into that a little bit at the end of this as well. Just like to protect playtests, we are delaying certain features and ideas because we don't know how long they'll take to do. Right? That's essentially what you're saying. Yeah, makes sense.
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. So just yeah, be aware that I'm aware of the stuff that you think's broken, and I probably agree with you, and it'll get looked at, even if you don't see it immediately.
Just to keep it going, the some of this feedback is super specific, and again, it's all very helpful, but like it's it's just as easy to absorb the feedback where you say like magic's overpowered, and like Rob said, we are aware of it, and we are looking at like much broader changes. So like you may not see us change something from like 15 to 20 specifically because you suggested it, because like that type of minute change, like we're just looking at a much broader picture usually. So like calling out the features is a great way to get us like look at it, but we do have a really big picture to look at.
So basically, like that's what you consider like fine tuning, right? Like you can't do fine tuning before you do the big broad stroke changes, which is what that secret build is about, right? Got it. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to like kind of touch on that a little bit, or you want to keep it secret still?
Then it won't be secret anymore. I don't know.
I think I'll just say it's probably a couple of playtests away. So I'm gonna keep it in my pocket for now, and we'll talk about it a little bit more when we know that it'll actually get into your hands. So I don't want to confuse you to like start expecting things that aren't going to be in the next playtest.
I will say one thing. There hasn't been any gameplay feedback that we haven't already considered fixing. Like we've gone through a lot of the survey, a lot of what like Shadow Knight and Travis, whatever you guys have thrown at us, we already knew were problems. We're just taking a little more time to fix it. So you might see one or two playtests where you're like, wait, the devs haven't changed anything. We have. It's just in the secret build. It's not playtest ready yet. So yeah.
Or just specifically like if you guys call it like Kimo said, if you guys call it a very specific solution to a problem, it might not end up being that solution. But like when someone says like the druid cards that give way too much energy should give this much energy. Yeah, probably accurate. We're probably, we might not do the exact response you have to it, but we're aware that getting a whole bunch of energy all at once makes it real easy to do a bunch of magic attacks, which is a problem right now.
Yeah, yeah, that
True,
makes
and
sense.
yeah,
Yeah, that one right there.
And
That's the
and we
card.
might
That's the
we might
card.
fix it at one end, we might fix it at another end, but we are aware that doing a ton of magic attacks after having buffed a bunch of magic damage is pretty brutal.
right. Okay, so with that, does that cover all of the feedback or most of the feedback? So,
I see a lot of people asking for tutorials,
oh yes,
and I'd say as a game developer, tutorials are extremely time consuming. Um, it would We do eventually want to have one. It's just in these we still consider. I know the game is fun to play, and we're playing it all the what feels like very frequently to me. I know you guys don't think it's frequent enough, but uh, it would just eat up so much time that we could spend on other things, and I feel like the interactions we have on Discord and the community is really helping people learn how to play the game. So I'm sorry that it's rough right now. I'll just say again, like we'll get there eventually. We'll get a good tutorial in there. It's just not the priority at the moment, especially since mechanics are going to be changing. You can't really it when it takes so much time to do a nice tutorial, and then one mechanic changes, you almost have to do the whole tutorial over again. So it will be probably near the end, close to our like global release.
right. That means I'll have to start updating my player handbook soon. So, is there anything else we might want to cover from the feedback, or
Yeah, going through the survey results, like in a more exhaustive fashion, but it hasn't. We haven't completed it yet, so maybe next week we can talk about that. But we're not prepared to do it today.
All right. With that, let's move on to our next item, the general status update. Let's take a peek at our new cool features. So we have over here in the landing page where you usually go to click play practice, but over here we have a whole sort of advertising carousel where we have whatever updates we want to share or like important info. Might put some dev updates for readability or like just we might announce new heroes, creatures, cards, something like that.
Yeah, I
So
mean, in the end, it's like not just have Discord to talk to you guys. Like a lot of people. We actually don't know how many people just install the game, play it from the Gala store, don't even really come on Discord. But this is just an opportunity of advertising through the game, saying like, "Hey, the playtest will end at this time, or new creatures are out, or the handbook has been updated," that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
it's just
I
the
think
flexibility.
it's really great that the handbook's going to be here
Yeah.
for all those users. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton just based on our we do have the metrics of the user counts, and they're much higher than what we see in Discord. So
all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. By the
I
way,
s-
what's that venues button there, huh? Does that work? It doesn't work, does it?
Does it? No, it
It's
says
coming
coming
soon.
soon.
Ah, okay.
such a tease. I like this message at the bottom of the screen.
Oh
I
yes.
agree with it
I was gonna say
wholeheartedly.
I was gonna let him slide.
Yeah. So that's like a little mess, like a maintenance message sticker. Like if something
Yeah.
goes down, we can
Or
message you pretty much anything.
if we're gonna pull the game down for some reason or anything that you should be somewhat warned of ahead of time.
Yeah,
Yep. For example, please update your game. We do
yeah.
some recent with the July playtest, we did a couple of emergency patches. So
Oh
that's
yeah, yeah,
something we might want to announce
yeah.
here.
Like restart your game to get the new cards and creatures. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. All right. So with that done, let's take a peek at. Oh, did we notice this? This do we want to talk about this?
Uh, yeah, sure. Why
Okay.
not?
All right. So look at this cool little PvP energy. This is we want to talk
Basically
about.
an energy system. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it, Akimo, if you want to
Okay,
add
so
anything else.
yeah, I can talk about it. So this is the energy system. You're gonna have to spend energy to play a PvP match. It's going to kind of limit how much you can play in a day. The energy will recharge over time. We're still deciding how much time and energy you will have in a day for full release. For the playtests, of course, we'll set it to a value that makes sure everyone can play as much as you want. We're not trying to limit anybody during the playtest. But you can see it's hinted at here that the more NFTs that you own, the more energy you will have in a day. So by owning more heroes and more creatures, and even especially venues, uh, you'll have a much higher energy cap. So you'll be able to play a lot more matches in a day and hopefully get your MMR up.
All right. So yep, that's one of the features. And then last but not least, we have a player profile. Is that? Oh, right. I broke it.
You broke it. Oh.
No, because I deleted my deck. All right.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
So that's one thing.
We have a
Let's
deck editor.
yes, let's go back to the deck editor and create a really quick. All right. So let's make a real quick deck. Here's this, and this. Right. And then just quick autofill,
Are
autofill.
you trying to send a statement here that you have to include the mimic? Not cool, Jinwei.
Oh, I just randomly clicked. I'm sorry, I clicked on the mimic.
Random. I see. That was random. Got it.
So there was feedback on the autofill button, so I'll just throw out there that it is something we want to improve.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's in
Uh,
a
I
functional state now, we would
yeah,
call it.
I believe right now the AI is as simple as it puts cards that can go there there. I do not believe
Ah.
it's much smarter than that.
random deck. Cool. Let's go with
Or you
that.
gotta like start a game, right? Otherwise, that's the only way the player profile works, right?
Yep, I believe so. Might even have to do a PvP. If that's the case, I'm gonna have to ask one of you to play a quick match with me.
You have to finish it. You can't quit. Oh,
Oh,
but you
never
need.
mind.
Oh,
There we
that
go. It
works.
works with
Okay.
PvE too.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's just last game played is required.
Okay. So right here we have a profile, still in the works, but this is obviously not the real name and it's not Cryas, so don't.
So a brief tour of the screen. This will just be a short accounting of the assets you own. Right now, it's just showing everything that you have access to during the playtest builds. Uh, it'll give you a brief summary of the profile that you're on, which it doesn't have to be your own profile. You can access other people's profiles, but it will give you down at the bottom there. It'll show you the latest deck that they used in a match, just in case you happen to want to see what somebody higher up on a leaderboard than you is doing. And you can click on the view details button, I think, unless this breaks. Woo! Yeah, it'll show you everything that they have equipped so that you can see what people way high up on the leaderboards are doing. Which I'm going to use to see what people are doing that's breaking the game.
More mimic
Uh,
decks.
yeah.
Uh, do we want to let's see if that actually works. Let go to leaderboards. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of. Does this work? This this might be old users, so they might not have.
No, it's just if you use one of the pre-built decks,
Oh,
it
that's
doesn't
true.
populate correctly.
That is true.
I think Fire King probably shows a deck.
There we go. Warlord's Wrath. View details.
Fire King's one of our wonderful QA people, so they're playing the game seriously, so we know that they use the deck.
Yeah, it's all in one nice little screen that you can easily screen cap and post in the deck building Discord.
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially once you get NFTs and stuff, this is like a real. Yeah, I got 35 or 20 creatures. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
And those guys at the top of the leaderboards won't be able to hide their decks anymore. we'll be able to jump in and see them anytime.
That's like a love hate feature. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how people react. Other games have it, so you can always point to be like, hey, you're a competitive CCG, so but yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
Cool.
cool.
Yeah. So really looking forward to what you guys think about this. Yep. If you see this video, you want to comment about it, you can do it on Discord or in the YouTube.
Oh, before we end, I can
Oh,
also just do the what you call the weekly dev update. I can just do it and I can just do it right here.
okay.
So let's see. So last week, I guess we basically focused on putting that, looking at the survey results. It's still not completely compiled, so we'll only really dig into it next week. We've also decided that we kind of want to focus on some of the pain points players have had in past playtests. So we were definitely fixing the mimic sound effect bug. That's definitely happening. Uh, we are trying to get like Windows resizing and resolution setting support. Hopefully, we get it in by the next playtest. This just getting that functionality means that we might be delaying our playtest by a little bit, but we'll still try to keep a pretty healthy cadence of a month and a half between two playtests. So that's one feature that we'll get. The other one that we won't be able to completely fix is networking issues. However, with the next playtest, we will have the ability to tune our networking systems a little better. So, and we'll need your support to like play together and tell us when there's an issue. It's something we can't really test effectively because all of us are situated in the US. But we are trying to make some small baby strides towards fixing it. Look out for a poll that we'll do maybe in 2 weeks where we ask players if we should reintroduce the MMR loss on a defeat. The reason we took it away is so that, you know, disconnect losses were not frustrating, but maybe we lost that competitive edge. So that poll will be out maybe in 2 weeks' time. Look out for that. Um, Kimo's already talked about the new gameplay mechanics he's been cooking up. I think we are ready to actually start involving UX design, which means Kimo likes the mechanics, I would assume. So we're trying to get UX against it. Um, Another effort we have started is what we call bringing Tolkien to life. That is an effort to essentially try to give that world building a better lease of life within the game. And to do that, we're looking at our UI art again, our world building. We also started talking to a composer, an audio composer, to really get audio and SFX in better shape. So we will keep you abreast on how we make strides towards bringing Tolkien to life. Um, I we kind of mentioned it a couple of weeks back, and maybe even in the last dev update. We are slowly starting to make baby steps towards the next phase, which is play with NFTs. Um, we will be slow and steady with this, and I think you already saw a little bit of a teaser there, where that venues button is available on that main screen. So that will be our first. You can actually see an NFT in game feature. That said, Kimo kind of hinted at this at the beginning, to protect the playtest schedule, to make sure we always have builds for you guys to playtest. We'll actually do some sort of parallel build management. One build will only have new content, so the build will not have new features. It'll only have new creatures, cards, and heroes, and that will be safe because no new features are going in. And the other build will have new features where NFTs get introduced. We will do more videos like this one showing off those features, but the playtest will not have those new features because we want you to keep playing, giving us tuning feedback, having those Discord conversations on improving the game. So yeah, that's the dev update in audio form. I'll type up a little bit, but you can also hear our beautiful voices as we talk about it. Yeah, so that's the dev update for last week, I guess, when the video comes out. But yeah, stay tuned for more.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else? Any last words? I don't know if you guys caught this. I always like these little, I don't know, this little inside language we used. I know Travis came up with calling everybody legends. That's pretty cool. So I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's
I like
yeah.
that.
And I think Kimo a couple of weeks back came up with "see you at the tables," so I started using that as well. So Chinwei, you should sign off with that now each time.
For
Just
sure.
see.
I
Yeah,
yeah, I definitely want to see more players in the tables. I think this playtest I was like back and forth between playing and also like just on the dev stuff. So
nice,
yeah,
nice.
definitely want to play more games with the community. But yeah,
No. You know how we sign off from videos? We
no,
should
yeah, I
sign
know,
off from
I
videos
know.
saying
I'm
like
just saying
"see you
that
at the
yeah,
tables."
it's
Yeah.
something I'm saying with uh when actually I do mean it too. But
Oh,
yeah,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah.
good. All right.
But yeah, so yeah,
Stuff.
with that, I guess we'll see you guys at the tables.
Yay. Bye, guys.
Yay! Bye,
Bye. See you
guys.
there.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.